Hello, everyone. Welcome to CraftAlong for March 2026. If you don't know, CraftAlong is my monthly online class. You're welcome to CraftAlong with me, as the name suggests, or you can, of course, just watch, enjoy the replay, maybe take part in the comments. There's something here for everyone, right? How are we all today? I hope you're well. It's a beautiful sunny day, and you can probably see the sun is coming in pretty full in through my window. I think it's not going to be too glary on my desk, but we'll find out, I guess. Hi, Tanya. Nice to see you. Hello, Lorraine. Hi, Susie. Do you still have no internet? Did I see that comment? That's no good. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Kerry. We have lots of regulars here today. If you haven't been on my videos before, or if you have never commented, jump into the comments. We have the best, most beautiful group of ladies who are part of my community who make this just such a fun place to hang out when we're live. So you are welcome to comment on what you're seeing, or you can just all chat to each other in the background, which often happens. Hello, Leslie. And Holly's here. Hello, hello. I know I've missed people. I'm so sorry if I haven't said everyone's names. Hello, Marlene. Are we in touch? I don't remember your name. I'm so sorry. Unless it's a different, because I see the little @ symbol and people's names. So I guess it's their YouTube sign in is what we see. So I don't know. Maybe we've seen you over on Facebook under something else. Hello, Judy. All right. Like I said, I know I've missed people. Oh, hello. Crumpet was just up here. He hasn't been here all day, and just as I was switching over, he decided to show up and, pop right in my computer screen. So I gave him a moment, and he hopped down. So he's just over there hanging out on the floor now. All right. So we have a fun project today. You may have seen you've got a bit of an idea of it from the thumbnail for this particular live video. But in a second, I'm going to turn over to the desk and we'll have a good look at it, and you'll see it's a really fun card. Also, while I think of it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe, because that's how YouTube shows me to more people. The more people subscribe, the more I get shown. And that is what I'm trying to do, trying to build a community here. So yeah, bye, Crumpet. He's still here, but he's just lying on the floor. So he can hear me. Hello, Krista. Nice to meet you there. Hello. Okay. All right. So I'm going to switch over to the desk, and you'll see right now. Oh, it's a little bit crooked. We don't like crooked. I have a thing against crooked. Everyone knows Wonky and I aren't always friends. I don't think we have any. I haven't seen Cherie today. Hello, Naomi. How are you? Nice to see you. I'm really glad that you are here. That's awesome. All right. I'm going to be showing you some fun stuff today. If you placed an order with me last month, so in the month of February, if you placed an order over $90, you would have automatically received one of these packs, okay? So if anyone, all the packs, I'm hoping they arrived. They sent some on Friday and then the rest on Monday priority. So all the ones that are local to me went on. And when I say local to me is Central Coast, Hunter Valley, Sydney. I consider those local. So yeah, those all went on Monday with a priority sticker. So they should have got to you by now. Naomi, did you get yours? That was you. That was last month, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was. So the months just go by so fast. I can't keep up, right? All right. So this is your pack, and this would have come in a little mailer, a white mailer with my sticker on the back. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. That really helps as well. That really helps. So if you're already subscribed, then thumbs up and commenting are your next best things to do. That's how I'm going to get ahead in the YouTube world. And that's what we're trying to do, right? So the set that I'm going to be, or it's a bundle actually, I'm going to be using today is this one called Forever Florals. Now, for those of you who got the packs, and I'll go through what's in your pack in a minute. I know it sure is flying, Judy. You are so right. Hey, Marilyn, nice to see you. So these Forever Florals are a online exclusive that was released at the beginning of March. Okay. Now, if you've got the pack, you don't need to have these because all the pieces that you need are cut up and ready to go. Now, even if you don't have these beautiful sentiments, you can use whatever sentiments you have. I'll show you the card in a minute. I did elect to put 2 on. So I've got You're on My Mind on the outside and In My Heart on the inside. So outside and inside, that's how these ones are meant to work together. There's a really nice Always and Forever and a Thinking of You. It's a really, really nice set. Okay. I got this set because I did the virtual card retreat, which I think maybe some of you guys, who else did the virtual card retreat? I still haven't made up all the cards. There was 15 absolutely stunning cards, and I'm more than halfway, but I still haven't finished them all. I think, and I did the same thing with the scrapbooking retreat last year. I still got a couple of layouts to do from the scrapbooking retreat, and I think it must be a thing for me. I don't quite get finished, and then I need to make time after to sit down and finish it off. You love the card retreat, Holly. That's good. Sheila said she did it, and not sure who else. And okay, so this is the matching die set that goes with the stamps. Okay, so this is the bundle, Forever Florals. And in here, you've got all these lovely dies. So you've got this beautiful big, and we're using this one today, this big floral frame. Okay, we've got a smaller, like a little bouquet here. And then we've got some banners, these guys. If you're doing the ones, I've sent out 2 of these so that if you want to have You're on My Mind and In My Heart on your card, inside and outside, you can use those 2 that I've sent you. There's some little leaves like these, and then there's these ones that are in the middle of these banners. These ones cut out some of these different, well, all of the different images, I think, just about anyway. And then there's some standalone dies there. So it's a really cool thing. I love this set. And because I got it because I was part of the card retreat. This was the bundle that was included in the card retreat. So if you ever do a card retreat or a scrapbooking retreat, there are always stamps or dies or both included as part of the kit. Okay, so I was very excited to get that. All right, let's show you the card. This is the card. All right, so you can see it, and you would have noticed this is what's on the thumbnail. I've actually chosen to emboss my greeting here, and I think we'll have time to emboss it today. But if you would prefer to just stamp it, stamping it is completely fine. Okay, so you can emboss or you can stamp. And if you're going to stamp, I'd be using Early Espresso. Or you could, there's also some Mossy Meadow in here. You could do that as well. But I think Early Espresso is a nice dark brown that would look really, really good. All right, so when you open this, I don't know if you can see the way it opens. Okay, and it opens up. Opens up like this. All right, so it folds in on itself and then opens up like this. Now, I first saw this style of card by Claire Ottaway, who's in the UK, and she did, I think about 4 years ago, she did this style of card. It's really, really pretty and actually a lot easier than I expected. I thought it was going to be hard. I thought I really like it, but it might be too tricky for a craft along, for me, because I've got to cut all the pieces, right, to send out to everyone who got the packs. So I don't want anything that's too hard for me to cut up. Well, as it turns out, it's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. You like it? Thank you so much, you guys. Yeah, look, I'm very, very happy with it. And so this frame from the Forever Floral set is what's on the front here. Isn't that a beautiful frame? It's just gorgeous. I love it. All right. So I've also used the Delicate Dreams paper with this. Now, Delicate Dreams paper, I haven't checked today, but when I checked a couple of days ago, it was out of stock. And I hate it when a product that I'm using goes out of stock, but it doesn't. It will be coming back. It's called Delicate Dreams DSP. Yes, currently unavailable. Let me see if there's a date on it so I can see if I can predict when it will be back. Let me see. It's meant to be back the week of April 13. So only a couple of weeks away, guys. Can you believe next week is April? Isn't that insane? Next week is April. Oh my gosh. And we will have a new product of the month. How exciting is that? So I have seen it and it's pretty cool. So I hope to have that to show you, not this Friday, but the following Friday night. I should be able to show you the product of the month. It's out there in the US as well, is it, Judy? Well, in Australia, it's also currently out And Holly said the same thing. Well, there you go, Naomi. I'm glad you like it. All right, so this is the card, and I'm going to show you step by step how to make it. I'm actually going to go back, and I'm actually going to cut it from scratch so that if anyone doesn't have, like if you're wanting to cut it yourself at home, I'm using crumb cake cardstock. Now, I use A4 because I'm in Australia and that's what we have. I have also done measurements in the written tutorial that goes with this. I've done the measurements for imperial as well as metric. So if you're wanting to follow my, sorry, my next door neighbor's decided to start up his whippersnipper. Never mind. I hope it doesn't. Isn't it funny? Because if anyone watched Ellen's video this morning, they had a lawnmower at their house. So yeah, it seems to be the thing. All right. I know, I agree, Lorraine. I'm very excited to see what I can do with it, that new product of the month. So that's exciting. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn over. I've got the tutorial actually already. It's already on my blog. I actually haven't hit the button, but as soon as this video is ended, I'm going to hit the button to publish the blog post. So you can go over there. If you want the written tutorial, you certainly can purchase it. It's only $8. Or if you don't care about that, then you can just watch this video for free as many times as you like. Okay, so I know some people do prefer a written tutorial, but I'm going to be doing, I've got both for you. So, okay, A4 paper is 29.7 centimeters long. Okay, now that probably doesn't mean anything to you if you're imperial, but it is longer than 11 inches, which means it's longer than a piece of US letter paper. Okay, A4 is longer than US letter. It's longer and a little bit thinner, so it gives us a slightly different card shape. So this one, okay, at 11.3, if I was to do 11.34, or sorry, say that better, 11 3/4 of an inch is the length of the paper, and that basically is A4 size. Okay, so if you're doing this in imperial, you're going to want to use a piece of 12 by 12 paper because you need 11 3/4 inches long, which is longer than a sheet of US letter. I hope that makes sense. Right, but I am going to go with the measurements for metric for most of this, and it's going to be 15 centimeters. So I'm just using the marker here, and I'm going to put my cutting blade in, and I'm going to cut it all the way down the full length of my A4 sheet at 15 centimeters. Okay, so 15. And then 29.7 is the length of this. Okay, so that is what you need to start. So you're only going to get one card out of each sheet of A4 paper because we need a much longer piece than A4 is wide. I hope that makes sense to you. I've got to go between the document. I should have printed it out. Never mind. That's okay. Hello, Janine. Nice to see you. Look, you know, there's nothing you can do about your neighbors making noise, Marilyn. It's going to happen, right? So you can tell this is real life. That's how that works. All right. So with the long side at the top of your trimmer, what we're going to do is we're going to move your cutting blade right out of the way because now we're going to score our paper, and we do not want to cut. And it's so easy. Hands up if you've ever cut instead of scored. You meant to score, but you accidentally used the wrong blade. Two ways you can prevent it. You can either move the cutting blade right to the bottom of your trimmer and ignore it, or you can do, if you really don't trust yourself, a bit like me, you can put it right to one side and take it out altogether. So only my scoring blade is left. The scoring blade is the light colored blade and the cutting blade is the dark colored blade, which makes sense, right? Because you get a heavier, darker cut, don't you? Than you do a score, which is lighter. All right. That's just how I remember it. Oh, that's so nice, Leslie. I'm so glad because I know you've been having a bit of a rough week, and I'm so glad that you feel that it's a good place to be here with our group of lovely people. All right, so we are going to be scoring, and we're going to start by doing a wider score. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I don't mess it up. All right, so my first score line is going to be at the 10 centimeter mark. So I'm going to go 10, and I'm going to score right there. Okay. And then the next score will be 15. It's pretty simple. 10, then 15, then 20. You might be able to see the pattern here. Then 25. All right, so these ones are all 5 centimeters apart each. Now, that means this panel here is ever so slightly a couple of millimeters less wide than the other 3 here. Okay, so we've got one wider, there's 10 centimeters, they're 5, 5, 5, and this one's a little bit shorter. Hope that makes sense to everybody. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to turn it so that the 10 centimeter panel is towards me, okay? And I am going to score this. So I'm going to fold this at not the very first one, but I'm going to fold it at the second score line here down towards myself. And you'll see that your edge of your cardstock comes very close to this score line here that we did for the very first 10 centimeter piece. So the most important thing about this step, we're going to be doing some cutting, and I'm going to be using my trimmer. But first, use a bone folder and make sure this is a nice flat fold. Okay, so we're just making sure that that is a nice flat fold. I am going to need my cutting blade, so I'm putting that back in to my trimmer. And then I'm going to take this so that the folded bit, I just want to make sure you can see, the folded bit is up towards the top of my trimmer. And I'm going to put this at the 4 centimeter mark. And I'm actually going to stand up for this bit because using my cutting blade, there's a line. Actually, let me take it off for a second so you can see. Can you see the line? Oh, give me a second. Let me try this. See if you can see. Yeah, see this line just here on the top of that? That is exactly the halfway point where the blade is, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm putting this with that folded edge up towards the top, and I've put it at the 4 centimeter mark, cutting blade back in, and now I'm going to make sure that that line where the blade is exactly on top of my score line, okay? And I'm going to start there, and I'm going to go straight to the top, okay? So when I pull this out, I've got like a flap now. Now, if you have the bag, if you have the supply pack, this is all being done for you, okay? But if you don't, this is how you would go about it. Now what I do is I grab it and I flip the whole thing over. So now that flap's on the right-hand side. I put it back in and I do exactly the same thing at that 4 centimeter mark again on the left-hand side. So we have it from one side to the other. We have these flaps. Can you see that? All right. Doesn't matter which way you hold it. You should have flaps. All right, so I'm going to okay, so I'm going to open this up so it's flat, and the bigger panel, the 10 centimeter panel, the 10 centimeter score line is on the right. Okay, that's how you're going to hold it. So if you have the supply pack, this is the part where you get your crumb cake piece out of here. All right, and you'll see it looks exactly like the one I just did. All right, so now I have 2. I'm just going to move that for a second. I'm going to show you what else is in here while we have a moment. So some of you may be aware that I started doing some beefed up supply packs as of January this year. In fact, I did one in December as well, just to introduce everyone to the concept. But every month now what I'm doing is I'm putting in some extra bits and pieces. So you have got the Delicate Designs specialty paper, a couple of 6x6 sheets of that in your pack. You don't need these, you won't be using them for this card, but I wanted to put them in there as part of the extras that my supply ladies get. Okay, we also have a chocky for everybody. There's a furry friend in there which you can eat at your leisure, and there's some natural matte dots. Some of you, I did a quarter of a pack each. So some of you have got the Mossy Meadow and Crumb Cake dots, and some of you have got the white and Secret Sea dots. Okay, these match the paper. The other thing is that some people have got the large ones and some people have got the smaller ones. Okay, so, oh, good, Jen. So you could follow it okay? Because that's always, I always worry. that. So thank you for saying that. That's really good. So this is all part of the pack as well. These are optional. If you want to use these, you can, but you don't have to. Okay, so those are just some little extras for the people that ordered with me last month. All right, then we have a white panel that is going to end up inside this bit. Don't put it in yet, because if we choose to, we can do a bit of stamping on it. So let's just put that to one side. Then you've also got the frame, which we talked about from the floral frames, sorry, from the Forever Floral set. And there is also a piece of window sheet that has been cut to exactly the same size as the frame. Okay, what is that for? A couple of things. Not only does it look really cool because it does give us a window kind of on the front of the card, although we're not really using it as a window, but the main thing it does is it gives this frame some stability. Okay, so you still get the benefit of the beautiful frame, but you have the stability of the window sheet, which is lovely and thick, and will give it a nice surface to sit on. So if you have a frame like this in your supply pack, or if you've cut yourself that one, now's the time to go through and push out all the pieces. Now on mine here, most of the pieces are already pushed out. I'm just looking to see if I've missed any. There's a couple here, or there's one here. Look at that. So you'll go along with your take your pick tool or whatever sort of pokey tool you might have and push out any remaining pieces. There's a few here and there. Not many, but there's more than you realize when you start looking for them. If you want to have all the little dots in the middle of the flowers pushed out, you can. That's totally optional. I kind of like some of them left in. I think some of them left in look good, but that's just me. All right, so we're going to put that to one side as well. I'll just get rid of those little bits that I just pushed out. Okay, so we've got the white piece, the window sheet, and the frame. So let's just put those to one side. The other pieces that are in here are a piece of floral paper. This is actually my favorite piece of paper from this pack. I just think it's so beautiful. It's the one with the mossy meadow on the back. Okay, and that's going to end up right there. Which way will I? Yeah, I want it to be that way because the leaves are going this way, so that's up. So this piece is going to end up right here. Okay, and then we have 4 little crumb cake. It looks like linen. Linen or canvas? No, linen, I think. Those two can be interchangeable sometimes, can't they? So this is going to end up going on these 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a little bit room for a little bit of a border behind each one. Okay, so they're going to go in those 4 pieces there. This piece, and I could have used the linen again, but I decided to use this other paper, which is kind of like a crumb cake linen, but with a white design on top. Super nice, isn't it? So then this one is going to go from one side, and this is where my card deviates a little bit from the one that Claire did. It's going to go right across here, okay? Because I don't know if you can see, but when we look at our original card, can you see that we can see that white design a little bit through here, through that window piece? All right. But this does a couple of things. It helps keep this panel straight, but it also provides a really nice look through the window. Okay, so whereas you're going to go ahead and we're going to glue these pieces into place, okay, the DSP pieces. So I'm going to start with this one. You can start with any one you like. Oh, look at isn't that nice too? Look, they've got like, I just love these. It's got like, it's like a copper. Is it copper, do you think? A copper foil. It's really, really pretty. All right, so let's get my Tombow to behave itself, and let's put that. You can use whatever glue you like for this stage. And what I want to do is I want to make sure, whoops, I didn't do that very well. I put it in the wrong spot. It's going from one side to the other in this center panel. And if you've got any Tombow popping out the sides there, just wipe them away like I just did with whatever you might have. I used my fingers. The only problem with Tombow is that your fingers then get a bit tacky. Everyone's gone very quiet. I hope that means that you're all concentrating and enjoying yourselves. That's what I hope, but I just noticed all the comments have stopped for a second. All right, so I'm going to put all these 4 pieces and we're going to put them on these 4 panels created by our card. So you notice I've just kept it flat at the moment. Hey, Jolene, nice to see you. All right. The next one goes down here. And these are the 4 DSP pieces. All right, now all the measurements for all of these pieces are in the tutorial. If you purchased with me last month, then you'll actually get the written tutorial for free. You don't have to pay for it. It comes to you. But if you wish to purchase the written tutorial, maybe you can't shop with me or you didn't for whatever reason, then certainly. And that's the other thing. If anyone hasn't placed an order this month, just bear in mind that at the moment we are any orders that go through right now, the $90 plus orders will go towards the March CraftAlong. So I'll have a different project for you next month. All right. Okay, so I've got my 4 pieces on there. Going too fast. Ah, right. Yes, you can do it on replay for sure. Okay. So then I'm going to turn this piece over. Oh, and I forgot one piece. That's okay. So I'm going to put these on. I'm sorry I'm going too fast, Cheryl. I try and work fairly slowly, so I'm so sorry if this seems a bit fast today. All right. How beautiful. Now, this color in this paper, does everyone realize this is a brand new color that hasn't actually been released yet? And if you're thinking, well, why did they put it in this paper hopefully will be around for some time. The name of the color is Hydrangea Hue. Okay, let me just quickly pull out the paper and show it to you. So we'll just set that. Actually, I'll do the last piece before I do that. So there's one piece of Mossy Meadow, okay, and that's going to go on this piece right here. So once again, so there is quite a few pieces, not as many as last month. Last month had more pieces. This one is less than that, but still quite a few. I think it was 11. Well, I counted like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I counted 11, but if pieces were the same, I counted that as 1. All right. So this is how this is looking right now. Oh, hey, Denise. Nice to see you. You're concentrating, Leslie. Well, concentrating is not terrible. That's good. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is the Delicate Dreams set. Okay, and I'm going to start at the other side because I'm going to show you my favorite one last. How about that? So this is the color with the called Hydrangea Hue. You can see it's kind of like a bluey mauvey kind of a color. Isn't it gorgeous? This is a brand new color that will be released with May, with the May catalog. Okay, so one of our new in colors. And we have a beautiful collection of in colors. If you are a demonstrator, you can get your hands on these now. Okay, so if anyone watched Ellen's video at, I think it was 11 o'clock this morning, it was this morning's video, she actually did an unboxing and showed some of these. Okay, she had those 5 ink pads and all the new colors, including this Hydrangea Hue. But it's beautiful, and can you see it's got a bit of copper on it as well. Really, really pretty. On the back of that, this is the linen that you saw me just use, the crumb cake linen. All right. And then this one, I used this for a card yesterday, and I really, really liked it. So once again, it's got that beautiful, it's hard to see in this light, but that beautiful foil on it. And it's a really pretty design. And on the other side of that one, we have gray granite, like a wash, a watercolor wash. Isn't that lovely? Oh, you have an order arriving today, Leslie. How exciting. I don't. I have to wait. Mine's been shipped, but I'm thinking maybe I'll be lucky and it will come tomorrow. This one, once again, lots of copper. And you got a little bit of Hydrangea Hue and Secret Sea in there as well. The leaves and Mossy Meadow. Very, very pretty. All right, back of that one. This one I use, some of you may have seen me use it for one of the Notes of Spring card. And last Friday night, I did another card. I did this card with all these papers. So you can see I've used the Mossy Meadow. I've used some of the Hydrangea Hue, and we used the that linen one in the background there. And I thought that turned out really nice. So the papers just go beautifully together. They are really, really lovely. Then we have Secret Sea with little copper flowers and dots, and on the back Hydrangea Hue flowers with on a white background. Have you got this paper already, Leslie? This one is actually this one's been available since the beginning of March for customers as well. And this one once again has that gorgeous copper through it, even though I think these are meant to be leaves, but they kind of look like feathers, don't they? Don't you think? Could be either. And on the back, I love this one. It's got that lovely white pattern on the crumb cake background. Super nice. And then we come to my favorite one. This is my favorite, and you can see why. Look at all the copper through there. And then you've got those beautiful Hydrangea Hue flowers. And we've got all the colors in this paper. So Mossy Meadow, Grey Granite, Crumb Cake, Hydrangea Hue, and you've got your copper in there as well. So beautiful. And on the back, you've got like a Mossy Meadow wash. You've had this one a while. Yeah, it's gorgeous, Leslie. All right, so that's all the papers in the Delicate Dream set. So when it comes back in, hopefully it will come back in before the 13th of April, but when it comes in, rush out and grab some, because it doesn't surprise me that it's sold out. I think it's super popular because it's lovely. All right, so we've got all these on here. And what I'm going to do, the way this folds, so this piece where this is here, that is not going to fold. You're going to keep this bit straight, but we're going to push these two, see these two here? We're going to push those down, all right? And then I'm going to push that forward. Now, when you push this forward, sometimes you might see it like it bows a little bit. That's okay. That's where we get our bone folder, and we just flatten that down to make sure that that fold is going to sit flat, okay? Now, this one goes back the other way, and I'm going to give all of them a little bit of a crease as I go, because I think you get a card that sits better if you flatten it down as you go. And then this one goes back over the other way. And now we have this card design. So it's folding like this. Can you see that? And I thought this would be really hard, and it was actually not. Once I knew where the score lines went and where I needed to cut between, it's actually really easy. Oh, hello, Joanne. Oh, is it cold up there today? Wow, you're up early, 3:30 a.m. Oh, my goodness. Yes, thank you. I'm so glad you like them too. All right, so we've got all our pieces ready to go. Shall we do the front first or the insert first? Let's do the insert, and we'll do the front at the end. Okay, so I've got a piece of basic white, okay? If you're doing this in metric, your basic white piece, your insert will be 9.5 centimeters by 14.5. 9.5 by 14.5, and that's going to go right there in this piece. Now, you could just stick it straight in if you want to, but I'm actually going to stamp on mine first. So I'm going to use the Floral Frames, sorry, I keep calling it Floral Frames, Forever Florals stamp set. And because I don't have Hydrangea Hue yet, okay, you could wait until you do have that one if you want it to match up. But I used Balmy Blue, and it didn't look too bad. So I'm going to show you, okay. So there's a Balmy Blue flowers. It's not exactly the same color. If you would rather wait until you have Hydrangea Hue, wait until then, okay. But I just decided to stamp them right now. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put my little, there's like a little leaf, little stem and leaf stamp here, and I'm just going to pop that right there. And then I'm going to add my flowers on a small block, and we'll add that. So I did Mossy Meadow for the stem. And the reason I like to stamp it before you glue it in is if you want to go a little bit over the edge, so it goes right. I mean, you could be more precise, but this way I won't get any ink on this piece at the bottom, okay, on the base. So I'm just going to have that. And then I'm going to use the other stamp, and I'm going to do it in Balmy Blue. Now, another option you could do, you could emboss it if you wanted to. So you could emboss it with copper embossing powder, seeing as we've got copper in the paper. That would also look really nice. I know, it's beautiful, isn't it, Susie? I know, I actually bought several packs. I really love it. All right, so I'm just going to do Balmy Blue, and I'm going to put that so it's at the top of this. And look how nice that is. Isn't that beautiful? It's a really nice little stamp. All right. Oh, you got yours today too, Cheryl. I ordered mine at 6:30 a.m. So I haven't got mine yet. It was only shipped this morning. So that's the difference between ordering in the middle of the night and ordering the next morning. But I wasn't too worried because I know these products don't go live until May. So there wasn't as much of a rush as there might be if, you know, product of the month. I like to get that really fast. All right, so this piece is going to go right in here. And let's push that into place. All right, so it's really coming together now. Can you see that? This is how it sits. It sits beautifully for display. And then, you know, we're now going to be working on the front, but we've done all the inside, okay? You're waiting until next week and a new quarter. I know, Wednesday's the new quarter. Exactly. There's a few people waiting for next week. I've heard a few people say that exact thing. All right, let's talk about the frame that goes on the front. So I have cut this in metric. If you're doing metric, let me quickly come back and make sure I've got the right measurements in front of me so I don't tell you the wrong thing. All right, for the frame, okay, it's 13.5 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And then when you cut the frame out of it, let me show you. So this was just a basic white rectangle that was 13.5 by 10. And then I use my frame, here it is, and I put the frame, I got this the right way, yep, right there in the middle and cut it out, okay? So I have the same amount of a border all the way around, and it's pretty easy to do going through your cut and emboss machine. You just line it up in the center. All right, then the window sheet piece is exactly the same measurement, okay? So that's 13.5 by 10 as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to this, all right? So you can use glue dots if you want to, if you are a bit scared of Tombow. The only reason that Tombow is a bit scary when you're working with window sheets is if you smear it on there, it can spoil the look of it, okay? In this case, we don't really care too much because unless you're smearing it right here in the middle, which I wasn't planning to, we're not going to actually see it because the frame's going to cover most of that up. So what I did was I made sure my Tombow was flowing properly, and then I just went right around the outside of this very tiny frame. You might want to grab a silicone mat if you're worried about getting glue on your glass mat, like I've got a glass mat here, or whatever you might be using underneath your work table, whatever. I would always have, if I don't have a glass mat, I would always have maybe grid paper or some sort of protective paper under. So I've gone all the way around the outside with this, okay, pretty much. And then I'm just going to go back and add a few bits of Tombow around some of these center leaves, okay, just the bigger ones. And I'm doing that so we won't have a bunch of leaves flapping around in the center there. Now, I think the easier way to do this, the easier way to do this is to leave this face down with the glue on top, and then get your window sheet and put the window sheet right there into the corner and put your window sheet on top of the frame. Okay, that is easier than trying to go the other way because you can see what you're doing through the window sheet. So it actually works really, really well. And I'm just going to kind of push it down a little bit with my finger. All right, and this way I've got a piece that has a window in the middle, and you could do lots of different things with this, okay? It's a great way to make a card. So I just think this is a really nice way to do a frame. All right, so this is going to end up on here. All right, so it's going to go straight onto the front. So we need now to work out how are we going to put that on the front. Okay, so just a little bit less than half, because I don't want to glue any glue under here. I only want glue where it's coming into contact with the card underneath. All right, so from here to here, all the way down this side, and then just across here. All right, so you don't need to put glue everywhere, but you do need to have a think about where you want to put that glue. So if this is the side that's going to be going down here, I'm going to put my glue all the way down that side. Okay, then I'm going to come across a little bit here and a little bit here as well. So it's going to go just on these pieces here. And then instead of applying it to here, I'm going to apply it to here because I don't have to worry about it going anywhere. And I'm going to do it on here as well. Right, so you could either put it straight down here. On this one, I think it makes more sense to leave it like that because this is not the same measurement. But now that I've got that on there, I've got this bit of glue here. I'm going to push this down. And the most important thing is that I want this side to be lined up with this edge. Okay, so that needs to go there. And if this bit goes a little bit over the other side of the card, it doesn't matter. But that's how that is going to go. You could even put some glue in the middle because we're going to have a sentiment banner there. So you could even put some glue in the middle if you wanted to, but I didn't. I just did it around the sides and just in the bits where it comes into contact. Now, I've got a little bit of glue here that's a little bit tacky on this edge, all right? So what I like to do when I have a little bit of tackiness, and anyone can do this because most of us have, well, not everybody, but most of us have embossing buddies. And embossing buddies are wonderful, wonderful tools, okay? So they get rid of tackiness. They aren't just great for embossing. I'm just going to remove any excess glue with my bit of paper towel, and then I'm going to tap my embossing buddy down the side. That will get rid of any tackiness left over from the Tombow. All right, so now that feels pretty good. Right, and now we have a frame on the front of our card. Oh, you got some more envelopes, Cheryl. Yes, you could use jack paper on the frame. That would be another great idea as well, Leanne. Good point. I don't actually have any, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to use it once upon a time. All right, now we're ready for our sentiment. Okay, the card is coming together. And let me look at the time. We've got 15 minutes. So I try and keep these videos under an hour if I can. All right. There is also 4 little leaves. Okay, so you should have 2 green and 2 copper. I've used the earthen toned metallic paper, which is one of my absolute favorites. There's the extra green one. Oh, where's the extra copper one? I wonder if I've misplaced that. Doesn't matter if I have. So these are also cut out from here with this little leaf here, which is a super useful leaf, actually. I use it a lot. You know what? I'll find it in a second. How often do we lose stuff? All the time, right? But you can see I've actually got them sticking out the top right and the bottom left corner here on the front. Inside, I didn't worry about that, but I did it just here on the front because I just thought it finished it off really well. Okay. Oh, you guys are all ordering up envelopes. What's the bet they're all going to go out of stock soon? I got 2 packs last week. So, yeah, because I'm not wanting those to run out. All right, so I'm actually going to emboss these, but if you don't want to heat emboss, if you want it to be a bit of a quicker card or you don't have heat embossing tools, you could use early espresso and stamp it straight on. Okay, so I'm actually going to, so the inside one's going to say, and in my heart, the outside one's going to say, you're on my mind. So you're on my mind and in my heart, which I think is really nice, right? So let's get those out. So this is and in my heart. I'm going to put them on a longer, not that it really matters. Let me see, have I got another one of those? I'm sure I do have. Oh, I'll just use block D. So block D is probably the most generic block size that we use all the time. If I was going to, if someone said to me, what block size should I start with? My answer would be D, because it's it's a medium size, so it's a really good size. But if you're always best stamping with a block that is roughly the right size for your stamp. So if you've got a little tiny stamp and a really big block, you can have some issues there where you end up transferring ink and it doesn't stamp as well. I like the new grid paper too. I need to get some. I forgot about that. Thank you for the reminder. I must add it to an order. All right, so I'm actually going to emboss these, and I'm going to do it in white. Okay, I really love white embossing for sentiments, especially on a darker background. Now, this is not a super dark background, so we've got a fix for that as well. But I am going to grab out my white embossing powder and my embossing additions kit. Okay, so this is the Wow bright white that we currently have. Okay, I've used my embossing buddy to get rid of any static electricity, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Versamark pad, and this one here is going to be stamping on both of them, okay, with Versamark, because that's the sticky ink that the powder will stick to. All right, so I'm going to do You're on My Mind. Let's just, actually, I probably should have a mat underneath this just to give me a better stamping surface, but it should be fine. Okay, can you see it? It's a bit hard to see, but you can see it if you look close. All right, and I'm going to put that in the tray. And then this one that says, And in My Heart. Of course, you could just stamp on the inside. You don't have to put it on a banner. You could just stamp, or you could not have an inside greeting at all. So either way, And in My Heart. All right. And I'm going to dump my white powder over the top of both of these. Might as well do them all together. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to pick this up and we're going to tap off any excess. And now you should be able to see the white powder sticking to that Versamark. Now, if you have any stray bits, this is where the brush can be really handy if you've got a lot of stray bits. And I'm not sure. Oh, there's my brush. Here we go. All right, so these. Okay, that one's done. And then let's pick up this one. Sorry about the next door neighbour's whippersnapper. He's employed somebody. The neighbour has got a gardener or a landscaper or somebody who's come in and he's chopped down a whole bunch of bushes that were on the fence line between our place and theirs, and they've cut them so short that they can see straight into our house now, and we can see straight into theirs. So it's not ideal, but anywho. I'm going to use, because these are small pieces, I'm going to use a pair of tweezers. This is also from the Embossing Editions kit. So if you're wondering about the Embossing Editions kit, you get the tray. The tray is really handy, actually, which has got the plug, and you just put everything straight back into your tub when you're done. So it contains all the mess. It also has some reverse tweezers, which are very handy. It has a brush for getting rid of all your little bits of powder, okay? And it also has the very useful embossing buddy. So that's what's in an Embossing Editions kit, in case you were wondering. And we do sell those. All right, I'm going to use my heat tool. So it's going to make a little bit of noise, not too much. So what did Leslie say? Yes, there are quite a few things going up in some adhesives. Tombo's only going up by $1, which I still think it's good value, to be honest, because I know if you buy it elsewhere, a couple of places come to mind, and I know they're a lot more expensive than that. So, yeah, I'm pleased to say that ours still seems to be the cheapest around. So I'm happy about that. I'm just going to put... That's a shame you can't use your glass mat, Tanya. What a shame. All right, so you're on my mind. Can you see that there? And you can see it's not particularly striking on the crumb cake because crumb cake is a relatively light color. The darker the color, the more contrast we'll have and the more obvious our greeting will be. But in the, when you see the written tutorial, those of you who are getting that, you'll notice that I've given you an optional blending brush or sponge dauber option. So you could just stamp these and call it a day, or you can do what we're doing now, emboss like this, and then we kind of come in with some crumb cake ink, which is the same color crumb cake as the paper, as the cardstock. I think this is one of my favorite things about Stampin' Up! Is the fact that we have everything coordinates. So if you have, we have an ink color, well, you're going to have cardstock in that color and ribbon and blends markers and all sorts of stuff. So I love how easy it is to coordinate everything. I'm going to use my blending brush into my crumb cake ink, put that to one side, and just pop it here. And we're going to just gently circle over our sentiment. And what this is going to do is it's going to make the sentiment stand out a little bit more because we're giving it a darker background. All right. And it looks really cool. All right. So you just sort of work at it to give you and I kind of blend it out towards the outside. All right. That looks good. Let's put that one aside. So look at the difference. Can you see the difference? How this one stands out more? And it'll stand out even more if I get a bit of paper towel and polish it up, because if there's any ink that we've just applied sitting on top of our white embossing, it won't stand out as much either. Can you see the difference now? It makes quite a bit of difference, actually. So I like the way that looks. All right, so let's do the second one. Start in the middle, do little circles. If you need to grab more ink, go back into your ink pad and grab some more. I think I might. So I am just making sure that we've got a nice darker background behind the sentiment itself. There we go. All right, and once again, I'm going to get my paper towel and I'm going to polish that up in case there's any ink sitting on top of the letters, which is quite likely. If ever you're doing an emboss resist technique, I would always suggest that you do that. Put the lid back on the Versamark. All right. Now for this one, I'm going to be popping it on the front, and I'm going to, let me see, have I got, no, I still got the lamp on, but the sun's suddenly gone out. So it's gotten a bit dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put dimensionals behind this one, and we're going to apply it to the front of our card. Don't put them on the outside. Just put a couple in the middle here, because we're going to put our leaves and we want to be able to slide the leaves in underneath the sentiment. So I'm getting over the top of this so I can center it. Okay. And then here, this one, we don't want to add bulk to the inside of our card. So for this one, we're just going to put it on flat. So only the outside one needs to be up on dimensionals. And once again, we're going to center it. If you don't want to have this on a banner, you can just stamp it, or you can not have that at all and just leave the whole space for writing a message. Okay, so this is how that goes. All right, so let's apply our little leaves. Now, there's another one. Don't ask me where the other copper. I'm just having a quick look back in the bag in case it's falling down inside something. I think I'm going to steal it from another card. That's what I'm going to do, rather than cutting it up again now. So I don't want to waste time cutting when we'll probably find the other one. All right. So I made a bit of a mess of that when I took it off the card, but that's okay. So up to you if you want. I like the Mossy Meadow ones first and then the copper over the top, but it's up to you. You can do it however you like. And I'm just going to use glue dots for this. So in case you don't know, glue dots are one of my favorite adhesive. I think, oh, there we go. I'm so sorry. Crumpet. Crumpet's here, everyone. And he always sneaks up on me and I never know he's coming and he gives me a fright. Crumpet, darling, what are you doing? All right, so I'm going to put this one here. I'm so sorry. Let me just grab him. Can you sit? When Freya comes, she just sits down nicely and sleeps on the desk and she's not in the way. Oh, my goodness. No, I'm sorry. You're too big. There you go. Off you go. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. All right, so this one, once again, I'm putting the Mossy Meadow ones on first because I like the copper over the top, but you can choose. All right, so one goes in underneath at the top right corner, and then one goes in underneath at the bottom, like that. And then this, same thing. If you're wondering about using glue dots, I think that's what I started to say before we were rudely interrupted, is that you get whatever it is you want to stick and you find your glue dot on the roll. All right, there's our glue dot. And then we stick our whatever we're sticking to the glue dot so it stays, it's now on here, okay, because it's stuck on there. And then when you take it off, the glue dot comes to and it's ready to go. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing again, stick my leaf to the glue dot, take it off, the glue dot's attached. It's actually it's easier than you think. I've had a couple of people tell me glue dots are hard to use. They're not at all. You just got to remember how to do it. All right. So now we've got this front piece. Look how nice that is. I'm very lucky. I don't suffer with migraines. My daughter did, though, when she was younger. Not so much as she's gotten older. Now, if you have these, the natural matte dots, you can add some of them as well. Up to you. It's an optional extra. You don't have to do it. So if I wanted to do it, I could do, say, where would I want to put them? You know, I could have one down here. I don't know. I don't think it needs them. Do you? I don't think it does. But you've got them to use for something else anyway. No, you know what? I'm taking them off. They can just be a present for anyone who got these. You can just enjoy them on another type of card. But I think this one has already got enough going on and it doesn't need those. There we go. And so now you can see, whoops, it's not opening properly. There we go. So it's this piece here folds the opposite way to the other two pieces, and that's what gives it its shape. And there we go. What do we think? Do we like the card? So this is it. This is this month's CraftAlong card. I hope you've really enjoyed that. We have lots of cool things coming up over the next few months, or the next few weeks. It's a really exciting time around here. We have Paper Pumpkin starting in Australia on the 1st of April. Anyone who's excited about Paper Pumpkin has already decided, yep, I'm going to give it a go. What do you think? I'd love to see who's excited about Paper Pumpkin in Australia. First time ever for us to have a subscription like that. Thank you, guys. I'm really glad you like it. And then we also have the virtual album retreat available right now for anyone who loves to scrapbook. All the pieces, everything you need to make 10 double layouts. It is a fantastic thing. It's got stamps in it as well. There's all sorts of stuff. And I think anyone who does that will really enjoy it. I'm going to be running an in-person event with that one up in the Hunter Valley at Pecolbin. If anyone wants to join us, you're very, very welcome. I'm so glad, you guys. Yeah, you're excited too, Wendy. I know, right? It's pretty cool. All right, you guys, did you make it, Naomi, or are you going to make it later? I'd love to hear. Did anyone make the card along live with us? And I'd love to hear how it turned out. I know, I like the other kits too, and you can dip in and get those whenever you like as well. Kits have done quite well here in Australia, so it'll be interesting to see how Paper Pumpkin goes. All right, everybody. Well, I'm just going to flick back to me for a second to say goodbye. If you would like to check out the written tutorial, then I have that up on my blog. I'm actually going to go and hit the button right now. As of right now, it is published on my blog. Okay, so if you would like to see what it is that we got up to today, but you prefer a written tutorial, then go off there and that's where you'll see it. You can also purchase any of the products. I put a product list down there and you can click on any of the pictures of the products, the Forever Floral set, for example, and shop for it right there. So lots and lots of cool things over there on the blog. You can also subscribe to my newsletter over there. I'm going to have some stuff over there on the newsletter that's going to be some special stuff for people who are subscribed. So look out for that as well. All right, you guys. Well, it's been great sharing with you today. I hope you had a good time and you enjoyed the card. You're so welcome. Just looking at quick comments. Just the sentiments to go, Naomi. Are you going to emboss them or just stamp them? Both looks good, by the way. Not sure about Paper Pumpkin yet, Lynn? Fair enough. Maybe it'll take a little while for people to decide whether or not, or maybe they want to give it a try for a month or 3 months or something like that. Thank you so much, you guys. Well, look after yourselves. It's always great to share some time with you. I will be back tomorrow night. Actually, there's 2 videos tomorrow night because there's the regular live at 7:30 and then there's a pre-recorded global video hop at 9. So lots of stuff coming for you guys. Enjoy. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.